Hello, Monday. Very windy day. I'm sorry, but I've had to drop the resolution as well on this because my computer just can't cope with the 4K process. It's just the files are too big and it locks up every damn time. What are we doing today? Wiring. I was going to put a separate switch panel in the dash. There's so much aggravation involved in sending wires down, I just ain't going to do it. So what I've done instead, I took the light out and I put this block in place. Got an alarm going on down here as well that's going in. I'm just resting that in now. I don't really care much about that. And then we've got a live wire here. Look, that's feeding underneath. That is already a bumper's already after the frame. The light wire live is there. We'll connect them two up, cable tight in, and then we'll put the light in, and that job is done. Put it in reverse. They will light up. That thing will make a racket, and I will be able to see where I'm going because I have 3 cameras to pick from. Speaking of one camera, one of these cameras, that one down there, that's got to be wired into the stereo, so there's a little bit of faffing about going on. The wiring is already in the car. I've just got to connect it all up, and on the stereo there is a blue wire that goes to the reversing lights. So when you chuck it in reverse, that screen should automatically flash over to that reversing camera. Do I need it? Probably not, because I've already got a camera here for that very reason. But that one's on permanently. Bit of a nuisance at night, actually. I don't know how people get around that. So we've got to move that one a little bit more because it's completely missing where it's meant to be looking. So I've got to get under there and bend that metal around a bit, and then we'll have a tow hitch camera sorted out. So what is the process on this? The next thing that we're doing? Well, I don't really know at the moment because that's that old problem I keep coming across, lack of money. I was going to try and make a new bumper for this out of steel, but I've just changed my mind on it. I think it's a waste of time trying because I haven't got the metal. So I'm going to polish that light up over there. I'm going to replace that light, and eventually I will take this bumper off and this chrome grille, and we'll bedline that all up, and the bonnet as well. I'm going to do the centre part of that bonnet in black matte, and then I'll polish all of this up, give it a good going over, and probably polish the rest of the car up and see where all the damage is, because once I've moved the paint about a bit, I will see exactly what needs repairing and replacing. I know we're going to have problems here, there. I also know the metal is really thin down here on both sides, so I know they're going to be troublesome, but I'm hoping the rest of it will be relatively easy. Roof bars have got to be made to go on the back. All I plan to do on these ones is just to run some steel up and a couple of bars across, and then some crisscrosses on that one. But on this one I'm planning on putting a proper roof bar on when I can find something that can bolt through, and we'll put a roof basket up there, and then I can collect the steel that I need for the roll cage on the rat rod. That's the plan with that. So I'm going to finish off what I'm doing, and then when I'm done I'll quickly show you. I will now go and put some ignition on and show you. There you go. And that's a lot quieter. Let me demonstrate. Trust me on this, it's a lot quieter than it was before. So that's one job done. Now we've got to wire up that camera onto the stereo. So when that stereo goes on, there's 2 red lines as you get with standard stuff. Mine is no different from anything else, other than if you turn the steering wheel, the lines don't move with the steering wheel, because it's not that advanced, I'm afraid. That I'm aware of anyway. Get that wired in and we'll be good. I'm going down the yard tomorrow. Let's see if I can replace my dash, because I think my fuel gauge is sticking as well as the Speedo. As you can see, look at the Speedo. That's that bloody plastic. It's a nuisance. So I've switched the clocks in the end, because look at that, stuck solid. That ain't too great either. It's that bloody white plastic. It's a load of rubbish, but you can clearly see, looking at that one and that one, that there is some severe differences. I'll tell you what I think I've gone and done. I think when I was doing the neutral switch, I took the speedo one out as well and decided to change that. I think I changed the calibration myself. Let me explain and demonstrate. I have speedo sitting here. My beautiful assistant, how bells, this is now falling out, is going to hold the camera while we just pop down the lane. If we can't see the speedo, I will call the numbers out. Put your seatbelt on? Yeah, you are. I think okay, so we've got 20 mile an hour and we're doing 18 on the speedo. Not bad. 28 mile an hour and we are doing 28 mile an hour. Almost 40, 35. I'd say this is pretty damn accurate now, Sue. We ain't getting through there, are we? Right, where are we? Speed wise. It's alright, I'm worrying about it. Right. Let's get this down, this needle on 20. Right, the needle is now on about 21. The sat nav's just caught up, that's doing 20. I said we can get this up to 30. Right, 30, 28, 27. Not quite 30. There we go, now we're on 30. 29. So that's 1 mile an hour out if that flipping sat-navy speedo has got anything to go by. I think we're good. I think you're allowed a discrepancy of 3 mile an hour on speed cameras, and other than that, I don't think you can get away with much more. So I reckon what I did is I changed that sensor over, which is a little wheel that spins on a gear in the gearbox, and I reckon it's different because the speedo is definitely different. There is no ifs or buts about that one, and that is the reason why everything was out of sync. So it's got nothing to do with the tyres, although it could have been. Do you know what? I completely forgot to do the reverse camera for you. So there, I've been pulling plugs all day. Oh. That's a bit weird. Wow. Well, why has that left that one up there? Weird. Ah, that's how you do it. Holy moly, we've done it. Go down a bit further with that. And that. What is that one for then? I don't know what that orange one's for. Ain't got a clue. But okay, that's a little bit better than it was, wasn't it? Isn't it? So, there you go. Can't do any better than that. So, oh, my stomach. Oh, there's my toe hitch, look. Just make it out. Just make it out. Let's put that one back. Sorry, there's a kiddie going past. I didn't want to... I don't know why that's rotating it like that. There we go. Now I can definitely say I'll see you next week with something else. What have I got left to do? I've got lots to do, really. I've got a front bumper to take off. I ain't doing anything special with that. I think all I'm going to do is put some spots on the front and paint it black in black bed liner to match the rear. But I do want to put some satin over the chrome grille. Don't want the chrome grille. I have another chrome grille. I don't need that one chrome, and I think the centre part of the bonnet's going to be done in satin as well, so I'm probably going to take that off and take that in the shed. I reckon I could probably sand that down out here in a day and then take it off the following day, get it in the shed, get it sprayed up, and then get it bolted back on again. It's as simple as that. That's coming up. I do need to do some work on the shed itself because we're losing some of the walls. I'm now considering the Victory Vegas as a trike. Look, this is where I'm at with it, right? It's going to cost me 1,500 quid to go and do this horrible flipping test. I've been riding all my life. I'd probably pass it after a couple of hours, to be honest, of being on the road. And I'm not bragging. I'm you know, the experience is there. Just got to get rid of some of the old habits and update myself on the road with it, with some of the things I probably don't know. But the bike test centres that train you, they won't do hourly sessions. They just won't do them. I've rung them round, and they all want you to pay for these long, intensive courses, which to me, it's just a lot of money. 1,500 quid with the CBT. And then I was looking on DVLA somewhere, and after watching a YouTube channel, someone suggested that they have this pass rate, percentage pass rate, and in the 70s it was something like 70%, and then as time went by they started to reduce it, and the last 20 years it's been around 47 to 48% pass rate, I believe. And I thought to myself, well, I heard this when I did my 3 attempts at passing my car test. The second time I failed, I didn't feel that was justified. But he found an excuse to fail me, and he was pretty prompt on it, and that was the end of that conversation when we got out. Like, yep, sorry sir, you failed. You drove too close to those parked cars as you went down the hill, and you were going too fast. But I remember that. I was doing 30 mile an hour, and I was about half a metre at least away from those cars. Now, maybe that wasn't enough to fail, but they still did it. Anyway, I want to come across about crying, okay? This is not what this is about. It is what it is. That happened, but this time round I'm not going to allow it to happen, because I'm not doing the damn bike test. I'm not putting money in the government's pocket just to fail me at the end of it. Will that bother me? I'd like the bike test, I would, but I don't need it. I'm quite happy riding 3 wheels. If I do this trike build, I'm doing it for me, to go on the road, to have a Sunday afternoon out, spare vehicle to ride. The Vegas is a lovely machine, but by God, if that breaks down, I'm going to struggle to find the money to get it fixed. You know what I mean? And the garages ain't going to give it a second look, let alone a first look, because of the 3 wheels. When somebody has built something, they tend not to want to get involved in it, because that again is also the BS that you get with some of these garages around here, especially in Ipswich. It's the worst for it. So, cut a long story short, I'm going to start looking at the Vegas. I definitely want that on the road with 3 wheels, without any doubts whatsoever. So, what I'm going to do over the next few days, we're going to get a gearbox, a front wheel drive gearbox from the scrapyard. We're going to pull it apart. What I'm thinking, because it's belt drive, it's not chain drive, it's not shaft drive. What I'm thinking is, if I can afford to order another rear pulley, because I don't want to cut anything up on that trike whatsoever. Nothing. I want to be able to put it back, because there's a lot of value in that machine. So I'm going to pull a gearbox apart, a random gearbox, nothing special, just to see what the diffs are like, and to see if it is a feasible transition to get it from 2 wheels to 3 wheels. I'll film the gearbox strip down. The gearbox is going straight back to the scrapyard where it come from. It's a knackered one, and it's going straight back. Be interesting to see what's wrong with it, to be honest with you. I've already found a gearbox that was sitting in a skip, so they're going to lift it out for me, put it in the back of this thing, bring it home, get it in the shed, put it on a bench, pull it apart, and then I will look at the differential on that, and then I will look at the pulley on the back of the bike, and we will make an assessment there and then if this is going to be a practical thing to do. I would love to use a Jaguar diff because the swing arm's already pre-made and I haven't got to mess around too much, and I can have independent suspension from that. But the problem is the flywheel that is on the back of the wheel, that the pulley wheel, it is so awkwardly made. You can't. I don't know what to do with it. I'd like to take the spokes out and put a piece of billet alley in there. Looked at the prices of that. That's not cheap. And so really, I need to find a differential at the moment and just conk up one problem at a time. So my biggest problem is the prop shafts have got to go through that centre hole. That centre hole is about 1.5 inches. That's all it is. So I need to find a differential that is small enough for the props to go through that hole. Once I've got that bit done, I could make up an adapter to go where the crown wheel used to be. I can make an adapter off of that, and then I can put the pulley onto that, and then I can encase the unit, and then I can go from there. This is a big build if I can pull it off. I don't know if I can. This is the biggest one I've ever done. I've never done anything as complicated as this one before. If I had a half a brain in my head, I'd put the thing up for sale, get rid of it, and buy something that has a shaft drive that I can deal with. But no, not me. I have to challenge myself, don't I? And I wonder why I fall apart and fail every time on some of the things I do. But we'll give it a go. We can only but try. Damn, this is going to be expensive, because if I cock this all up, I potentially could lose over 3 grand's worth of motorcycle if I break something. There you go. Right, see you next week, people.